So yesterday I got the opportunity to go to Sunset View Dahlia Farms, which is a family-owned dahlia farm about an hour away from me, and do a work trade. So what a work trade basically is you work for a handful of given hours that they expect you to work. So in this case it was about 4 hours. And what they do is they give you something in return that isn't necessarily monetary. So for me it was a group of 10 dahlia tubers that I got in exchange for me helping them plant dahlia tubers. I had never done anything like this before, and one of my friends had mentioned it to me, and so I ended up signing up a couple of months ago, and it was a really, really nice time. Now, truth be told, I almost talked myself out of it the day before, and it was one of the biggest lessons that I learned, which I will get to in a little bit. Now I'm going to take you through some of the things that I learned, what those 10 tubers are that they gave me, and then I'm going to go ahead and plant them and tell you guys exactly how we planted them at the farm. So I'm going to be adopting that right here at home as well. A couple of interesting things that I learned about dahlia farming that I didn't know before. The biggest thing was I really thought the dahlia farmers were making the most profit off of the actual dahlia blooms and selling them to florists or having the events around the dahlias in terms of having dinner in the garden or things of that nature. And I learned that the flowers were actually just a byproduct, that they were really focused on the tubers because that's where the money was. So where they would get something like $1 or potentially $2 per stem from a florist, they were getting $8 to about $24 per tuber. And those tubers, every time they stuck them in the ground, would produce about an additional 5, 6, 7 tubers. So that one tuber was worth a lot more than any of the flowers they got. Also, evidently, dahlias are not the best cut flowers because they are so delicate, and oftentimes a lot of the florists don't always go for them. Even though I do know that they're big around wedding season this time of year, they tend to die off really quickly, so that again really isn't a florist's #1 choice. So I thought that was something really interesting. The other thing I learned was about storing dahlias. So the owner was asking me some questions as we were digging the holes to put the tubers in, and he had asked how big my collection was, and I had mentioned to him that a number of years ago my collection was a little bit larger, but that I had lost about half my tubers over winter, and he was asking me questions in terms of how I stored them and things of that nature. And I said I stored them dirty, so I didn't really wash them off, and I stored them in vermiculite in a cool, dry place in my basement. He had asked me if I divided them prior to storing them, and I said no. By the time November rolled around, I was so tired and sick of looking at my garden that I literally just chucked them in a crate with the vermiculite and put them out of sight and out of mind. So what he said made a lot of sense, was that it's really important to check your dahlia tubers before putting them away, because what happens is oftentimes the mother tuber can rot, and that rot will then spread very quickly throughout the entire tuber. So that's something that I'm going to be a lot more mindful of this year as I go ahead and store these dahlia tubers, because I don't want to risk losing them again, especially since my collection is just starting to build up. Now, probably the biggest lesson that I learned was around my mindset. Now, like I had mentioned to you guys, I had signed up for this a couple of months ago, and then of course Sunday night rolled around, and I remembered that I had to go do this work trade, and my mind just went crazy. It went from, it's too far of a drive, I'm way too busy, I don't have time for this, it's gonna be over 90 degrees out, there's gonna be people there that are probably master gardeners, and that they're gonna think that I don't know what I'm doing or what I'm talking about, and the excuses just kept rolling in. And then I stopped, and I remembered the entire purpose of why I'm doing this and what I set my mind to do this year. And that is just to do things that are so completely out of my comfort zone and I have never experienced before. And so I just got in my car the next morning and just drove and went and did what I needed to do. And honestly, I am so happy that I did it, because within 15 minutes of getting there, I don't even think it was 15 minutes, I already met somebody who was telling me where to get free compost. In fact, he was like, let's drive there together, I'll show you. I met another woman who bonded over the insanity of our son's baseball tournaments and how we are probably never going to be able to have a social life ever again. I bonded with somebody else over leaving the corporate environment and how therapeutic gardening was. Everybody had a story, everyone had a background. There were people there of all ages, and honestly, I would have never met these people had I not had this chance, and had I come up with an excuse and not gone. So I am so happy that I went and got out of my head and got a chance to experience this. let me know in the comments below if you guys ever did a work trade, or if you guys go through some of the same thought processes that I go through, or whether that's just me. Because I know I tend to miss out on a lot of good things just because I have the worst thoughts that roll through my head. Let's go through the 10 dahlia tubers that I received. So I'm gonna pop these up on the screen. I haven't really gotten a chance to look at these. They did end up tagging them right on the tuber, so I'm able to look up the variety right here. So let's go ahead and look to see what we got. So first up, and I wanna throw these up on the screen as well, is Dahlia Crazy Legs. Now I'm going to read you this description as well. So Crazy Legs is a 4-inch bicolor stellar bloom with a buttercup yellow on the front of the petals and a scarlet red peeking from the back. Whoa, this is absolutely gorgeous. So the bloom size is miniature, it's up to 4 inches, and the average height is up to 4 feet tall. Next, we have Dahlia Rip City, which is a dark, dusky burgundy or plum. Rip City is a popular informal decorative variety, one of the darkest dahlias available. It has 4 to 6 inch blooms, so fairly small for a dahlia, and grow on stems up to 4 feet tall again. All right, we have Dahlia Rose Toscano. So true to its name, this ball variety is a lovely rose that with a touch of Tuscan sunset orange. Rose Toscano is a nice cutting garden variety with blooms of 3 to 4 inches. So this is another miniature bloom size for a dahlia. Next is Dahlia Blizzard, which is a favorite for the cut flower gardens. It is 4 inches, pure white blooms dusted with ivory in the center that grows along atop strong stems. Whoa, and then we have Dahlia AC Ben. Now this one looks really cool. So AC Ben is a dinner plate semi-cactus variety with a stunning sunset shades. It is giant, over 10 inches. That is huge. I can't wait to see that one. Semi-cactus. It's gonna look so awesome. Then we have Dahlia Pink Sylvia, known as Sandra. These are 3-inch blooms with high impact bubblegum hot pink coloration in ball form. So pretty. All right, we have GW's Calhoun Moon. These 3-inch formal decorative rich and yellow blooms shine like a harvest moon over a vast and wild landscape. I mean, look how gorgeous those yellow blooms are. Imagine those in a floral centerpiece. That's really gonna pop. And then last we have Parkland Tribute, which has intense salmon colored bloom unlike any other in our collection. This 4 to 6 inch ball form is a tribute to a time-honored beauty of the dahlias in your garden. Super pretty. Now there were 2 where I wasn't able to read on there what the variety was, so those 2 we're just going to consider mystery varieties and see what comes out. I'm sure they're going to be absolutely gorgeous. Dahlias need a full 6 to 8 hours of sunlight. The more sun they get, the more flowers they produce. I'm putting mine in the back of these beds because by 11 a.m. these are getting full sun. But since dahlias get tall, somewhere around 4, 5, and some even 6 feet tall, I don't want them shading out everything else behind them. I'm digging each hole about 3 inches deep. And then here's something that I picked up from Sunset View Farms. They put bone meal directly into each hole as a slow release fertilizer. So I'm doing the same thing. It's a simple step, but if a dahlia farmer swears by it, then that's good enough for me. All right, so let me know in the comments below if you guys have ever done a work trade and what it is that you traded for, because now I'm really curious to hear what else is out there, and I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye open for some more opportunities as well. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you in the garden.